Welcome to the new year. Are you guys ready for some movement?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we have been experiencing in the last probably 2 to 3 years some very challenging aspects in our world that have been really cluing people into who am I serving, what authority am I serving, is it making me happy? And so we've seen a lot of, I won't say conflict, but let's say conflict. And coming to the table to negotiate things a little differently, because some things do not work in our world. But this year, 2014, we are seeing a shift. This year is really an opportunity for all of us to start finding an answer that balances out those questions that we have all been entertaining internally. Now, the answer may not be the absolute resolution, but it will be something that balances so you can go forward. So this year is really all about forward motion. So breathe it in. Have y'all been feeling the shift already?
Yeah.
I'm not going to stay in limbo anymore. I cannot stay in limbo anymore. I've got to go forward now in a new direction in my life. So next year is the harvest year. It's about harvesting what we've planted. So don't you think it's time to really look at what we want to harvest next year? Okay, so this is what we're going to do during 2014. And I really wanted to start out focusing on success. You know, we all look at manifesting and we look at the idea that our thoughts plus our desires equal what we manifest. One of the real challenges with that is, however, if we have within us an inability to accept success, are we not easily thwarted in our manifesting? And if we have within us the idea that we are capable of accomplishing, does that not automatically lift every desire into a higher level? All right? So rather than focusing really on what you want for the month of January, I want you to join us and let's all work together on just the idea of seeing ourselves as successful beings. Success really is the ability to accomplish. It's not necessarily having my desires, but it's knowing I can have my desires. It's the ability to accomplish. And when we are successful, it allows us to create freely. Now, you know the journey from the thought and the desire to the manifestation can be a long one. You know, Jesus told parables all the time about people who would say, I need a loaf of bread. And then they would not be given the bread, and then they knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked. And the summation of the parable was this: your prayer may not come immediately, but if you stay focused on it, over time it will manifest. And what he was saying was, you may not be able to receive immediately what you've asked for, but through time you will. You see? So any manifestation is a process. It's a process of getting our thoughts and our feelings and our energy open to receive that which we want. So there is work involved. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Patrick's on. Again, when the idea of success is clear, manifesting becomes easy. Because what do you say immediately? I can do that. I can do that. There's not a, I can do that. All right. I brought an affirmation that I'd like for us to start working with. These are affirmations from the life and teachings of the Masters of the Far East. There are 7 of them. We'll go over a few of them during the month of January. I want to begin with the first one. I am abundantly, erase. I forgot the first most important word. God. God. I am abundantly able to succeed in every effort that I truthfully designate. God, I am abundantly able to succeed in every effort that I truthfully designate. Can you feel it? Different words. We don't string words together that way, do we? So our brain goes, okay, I can accept that I truthfully designate. So when you look at the word designate, designate is to define and then choose. We define it and we choose it. So that's our thoughts, and our desires coming together and designating thoughts and desires. How often do we charge thoughts with emotion around things we do not want to experience? Thoughts, emotions, thoughts, desires. Designate, I am choosing. Whenever we have a thought wrapped in an emotion, are we not designating it? Okay. So, I'll tell you a little experience I had recently. So, like you all, we are in the generation of entertainment. We love to get our little entertainment. So, something was happening, I've forgotten, and I put a little movie on. Patrick was sound asleep somewhere. And I put a little movie on, I'm watching it, it was an old flick, and it was about a child who was separated from his parents, and he started having to fend for himself. There was nobody in the neighborhood. It was not a happy scenario. And they showed no water, so he's at the tap doing this, trying to get water. It's been days, maybe even months, and there's no water. And when I saw him doing that at the tap, trying to get water to drink, I went, oh, I know how that feels. I just know how that feels. And I watched the rest of the movie and did not emotionally relate to anything else that was going on. Because I'm busying myself, working around, getting stuff done, you know. But that. The next night, I'm pulling into my house and I see my neighbor's basement light on. And I looked at it and I went, that's really interesting. I've talked to them 2 times in the 10 years I've been there. But the one time I did talk to them, water was rushing out of their basement. And my mind immediately went to all the water rushing out of their basement and how I had the opportunity and good fortune to see that, so I could go tell them, you're flooding downstairs. And my mind went to that and I went, that was a good exchange. That was good. I'm so glad I was there to help out. Well, you know what happened the next morning. I awoke to the sound of water rushing out of my house. And I went to the tap after Patrick turned the water off, and there was no water. My basement was flooding. Precognitive or creative? But I knew immediately I had affixed both of those thoughts with emotion, and I was experiencing both of those thoughts. But I didn't get it until I went to the tap. Patrick had turned the water off, and I'm going to the tap to get water like I always do. And I went, this is the darn movie! Oh! So, we hooked up to our neighbors and we survived the next 4 days, pulling their water into our house with their permission. So Patrick and I went to the Falcons game. It's the first game I've been to in 30 years, and we're sitting there in his son's seats, and it's the last game of the season, and you know, there's little giveaways. I guess there's always giveaways at the game. And Patrick looks at me and goes, wouldn't it be cool if we won something? No, he didn't say that. Let me rephrase. Wouldn't it be cool if I won something? I said, that would be cool. And we're watching little things going down in the thing, and he was excited. He's like a child. He loves football. And to be there was a gift. To watch it's a gift. It would be so fun to get a gift. So 1 minute left in the game, a young man comes and kneels by the chair. Patrick said, are these your seats? And Patrick said, yes. Like, what's happening? And he proceeded to hand him about $70 worth of certificates for sandwiches and fries at McDonald's. 19 sandwiches, big sandwiches for free, and 12 small fries. And Patrick's going, for me? And he goes, all for you. Precognitive or creative? Huh. So I had these experiences very close together, I mean within a week, within days. So I pull in Monday night, that was Sunday, and it's very, very cold. So cold. And I'm getting the mail out of my mailbox. And it's just, the wind is chilling. It's evening. And I have the thought, I know this cold. I know the feeling of praying for spring because I am so cold. And my eyes flew open and I went, not again. And I immediately sent love back to any time I was ever cold, any time I was ever praying for spring, and anybody else who was suffering the same fate. And everybody in the world, I ask that God's love fill them, because I did not want to link my emotions with a thought and create it. Do you understand? Having my heat go out the next day was not on my agenda. But I was awake and aware enough to alter it. But what did it take to wake me up? It took me some interesting experiences. This is what we do. This is how powerful we are. When we have thoughts linked with emotions, it sets us into motion to have that experience, even though it's not what we want. Nor is it what we're asking for. Nor is it what we're asking for. But we are very successful, aren't we?
Yeah.
I get to create anything I want. I was extremely successful. Patrick was extremely successful. We're very successful. But we have to be mindful. All right. Catching our thoughts, especially those that we do not want to experience, are so important because it literally takes us in a totally different direction. Think about our thoughts. Think about our bodies. We wouldn't do this to our bodies. We wouldn't go into a room of sick people and go, oh, little virus, I'll take it. No problem. I'll take that little virus. My body will fight it off. I'll be sick, but I'll be okay. We wouldn't sit down to a meal and go, oh, little poison in there? No problem. I'll take that poison in. My body will have to fight it off. I might go down a little bit, but I won't die. I don't mind. We wouldn't do that to your body, do you? Do you realize that you do it to your thoughts? That does not resonate with me at all, but I'll eat a little. I'll fight it off. I'll survive. Do you see? All right. This is what I was told by Spirit. This is what we do to our thoughts. We take an energy that literally engages our emotions in a direction that hinders our success. And then we have to use our energy to fight what makes us sick instead of using our energy to create what we want. Y'all feeling the shift? Yeah. All right. We are in a generation that loves to be entertained, don't we? We love to be entertained. And Patrick and I go to movies every now and then. We like movies. And I am really careful, and my family has become aware of how careful they need to be with me when I watch movies. Because I internalize everything. I don't have a program that says that's just TV. I have a program that says, what is going on? How was that created? Why is that happening? Oh my goodness. And so I trust my son, who is out more in the world than I, when he goes, oh no Mom, I saw that movie. No, you're not. That's on your do not see list. You wouldn't survive that movie. He saw one recently and he said, oh no, because it looked intriguing. We're chatting about it. He goes, oh no Mom, that has scenes that you do not want in your mind. And he said, I don't even want them in my mind. So you can't handle it. So I value and appreciate the people who steer me on the straight and narrow. But I offer to you, how much do we allow into us that we then have to process back out? And entertainment is easy. Oh, it's entertainment. Yes, I've been told by my guides and teachers, I've been restricted by beautiful TV programs I love to watch. They're entertaining. They're period pieces. Don't you know I love period pieces? And they throw me back to past lives, and my angels go, you know, Cindy, you're torturing yourself here. That was then. You need to get now. Stop. X that one off your watch list. You cannot watch that anymore. Cannot watch. Because I'll pray, oh, I'm so sorry I've ever hurt or harmed anybody in that manner. I probably did. I am so sorry. You know what I'm saying? Instead of be here now and create. Be here now and create. Okay, those are just my little idiosyncrasies. But we all have ways where thoughts that do not serve us are coming in. So breathe. All right. And if our reward, this is what Spirit said. If you want entertainment to be the reward of your labors, you are never going to be able to create. And we are an entertainment society. At the end of the day, let me veg before the TV. Let me go to a movie. Let me go out dancing. Let me please and pleasure myself. And that is the reward I seek for my labors. We are never going to create. We are never going to create. I counseled with a young couple this past week, And they're very young. And they had their 6-year-old daughter with them. And so I'm counseling with them. And the daddy was so tired. He was beat to the bone. And that little girl crawled up in his lap. And like that's her chair. And he put his arm around her. It's like that is her chair. She belongs there. She's reading a book. She's not fidgeting. It's like, then she gets comfortable. Oh my God. I would never have dreamed of crawling into my father's life. And I thought, there is the reward of that man's labor. He is dead tired. But that little girl adores him. Adores him. And she owns his lap. That was quite shocking. She's 6 years old. So at peace with her father. And I don't know that he realizes the gift he has. I have no idea. He's very young. He's very young. You know, young babies. But the reward for our labors needs to be greater than just us being entertained. We need to be able to see what we're putting out there and what we're receiving from it, what we are experiencing from it. And if we're clear on really what we want to achieve and experience, then we can go back and set that success mechanism up just like that. Because there's no doubt it is not a TV show or a movie that's going to make me happy. It is this experience that I want to have in my life. And this is how I will successfully navigate myself to that. Do you see? But it all goes back to us editing what comes into us, editing the food that we bring in. I am an older person. Erase that. I am more seasoned than most of you. When I was working in corporate, as a young girl, I was accounting manager. The computer that was operated in my accounting department would fill most of this room, the walls. And as I was leaving, I was negotiating with a computer company, and they said, well, we have this 3-foot cube square, 3 by 3 by 3, that will replace your computer. And I said, it's not possible. It's not possible. But I will tell you from my heart, in that day and time, there is no way any one of us dreamed that the progression of the computer age would take us so far into the entertainment of the individual. We would never have dreamed that. We would have dreamed that it would have made us work easier. We would have dreamed that it would have made everything effortless. We would have dreamed that instead of being able to see anything we want, have Google Map tell us where we are, we would have dreamed that new fuel would be created. New buildings would be created. We would be doing things differently. But we've taken this vast technology, and what we see is only that we are vastly entertained. And we love it. We love it. Go to buy a phone. They won't tell you what it does for you. They'll tell you how you can be entertained by that phone. Well, how can I make it work for me? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I can show you how to do a movie, play a game. Well, how can I get it record notes for me during a meeting? I'm not sure. And it's okay. Gosh, guys, we probably needed to be entertained. Our whole world probably needed a break. We probably needed a break. But as individuals, when we're going to start moving energy, let's make creating as joyful as those moments of R&R. Don't you think that would be a fun thing to do? Make creating as joyful, as exciting as those moments when we kick back. Now, I know in our mind right now, half of you are going, maybe. And, or even in your brain, maybe. I'm not giving up my entertainment, but maybe. You don't have to give up anything. You follow what pleases you. You follow what makes you happy. Do you understand? It's getting our right and our left brain engaged. It's getting those desires going. You know, this year we really are talking about success. Spirit asked me to look in a folder that I happened to have out accidentally. It was from 1999, and it was a folder of all the services that I did in 1999. 1999 was a year of planting seeds. Well, the very first thing that we did in January was we planted a seed for a new church home. 1999. And our goal was, when we get $20,000 in our building fund, we're going to go look. 20,000 was our key. That's when we're going to start looking. Well, kept on planting seeds. The whole year we planted seeds. That's all we did was planting seeds. And I think what I was being shown was that those seeds have already grown. Certainly the new building grew. By the end of 1999, we had our $20,000. We started our search. We found this facility in February. We closed in April. Patrick and David and some volunteers and I sweated profusely getting the building into a state where it could be a church. In July, we got our church use permit, and in September we got our CO, our certificate of occupancy. We had our first service in September. All of 2000 was about claiming, owning the seed we planted. And the deposit we put down was more like 80,000, as I recall, as opposed to 20. We worked very hard for this. Dreams and success go hand in hand if you're going to manifest. We planted the seed, it started coming up. Don't you know, I said a million times, if I knew how hard it was going to be, we never would have done it. Because it was hard. But once we were out there, there was no way we were not going to succeed. We were on a mission from God, and it was going to happen. I had the bank on the phone at one point. He said, you don't have a church permit, you cannot buy that property and use it as a church. I said, don't worry about it. God said we can. He goes, you don't understand. You're running the risk of losing everything. And I said, you don't understand. God told me to. I have to. I have no choice. And he said, God, I shouldn't approve you guys. I said, yeah, you should. And he did. But the idea of success, that we had as a church during that time, and those of you that were here, remember it. It was pure success that got us through this. We can do this. Our thoughts and our emotions are hanging in here, and we are going to make this happen. We can do that. And there were times when we were looking for the cavalry. You know, we need help. But we did it. We can do it. And it happened. Thoughts, emotions, dreams, becoming. All manifest with the idea of success. So I want to bring you back around to center. God, I am abundantly able to succeed in every effort that I truthfully designate. Be clear what you are designating. Be clear that you do not allow your thoughts to start drawing your energy to something you did not designate. How did this get here? Oh, if it's in your world, you created it. That's a cosmic truth. If it's in your world, you created it. How did it get here? Okay? Keeping our thoughts and emotions clear. And then being aware. What do I want at the end of this? Do I want entertainment? Is that all I want? Okay. It's going to color how you get there. Do I want a deep relationship? What do I want at the end of that? What do I want there? Now you have the package ready for you to go forward to succeed. You got the components of this first layer? Next week we're going to talk about your unworthy self. You didn't think I knew you had one, did you? But if we don't have this package in our brains ready, we won't be able to take that next step deeper. So, are you able to successfully achieve everything that you truthfully designate?
Yes. Yes.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
So, let's go within. So I want you to put your feet on the floor. moment just to feel your own energy. And I want you to feel your solar plexus at the pit of your stomach right now. We got a lot of talking going on. I want you to feel how you feel. Is it queasy? This is beyond your brain. This is where our achiever actually resides. That solar plexus energy helps us achieve. How does the pit of your stomach feel? Just notice it. And now love it. I love this aspect of myself. Now take your thoughts and let's open to God. God, we ask once again that your light enfold each one. I ask that a beautiful column of light come over them, that they are filled with peace. And as you feel this column of light, feel how safe you are. And become aware, just for a moment, of the thoughts you hold about your life. Just imagine you can see an energy, a color, or a shape that gives you insights to the thoughts you hold about you, about your life. Maybe sparkling thoughts, they may be scattered. There may be different kinds of energy. And I want you to feel the beautiful love that you reside in. God loves you. God loves you. Let's take a moment to simply love the thoughts that are currently there. I love my thoughts. Let your love just move through them. And now you can say, I release those thoughts that are not for my highest good. And gently feel a sweeping occurring in the energies. Just gently let them sweep. I want you to feel the thoughts that are for your highest good. If you need those thoughts that are going away back later, you can call them back later, but for now, I want to feel and know the thoughts that are for my highest good. As you're visualizing that, let's visualize now an energy that represents your emotional body, your desires, your passions, your emotional body. Just see it, the color, the shape, the density. The emotional body about your life. I want you to love that emotional body. Send your love to it. You have gotten me where I am today. I thank you. You brought me right here, right now to this church. You brought me to this space in my world. Send love to that emotional body. And now, ask that any emotion that is invested in anything that does not serve you gently be withdrawn and return to that which does serve you. And see a beautiful sweeping energy coming as the emotion is reorganized. I withdraw the emotion from that which does not serve me. Just feel a beautiful sweeping energy. Feel your love. If you need it back, you can do it later, but for now, let it go. And now see before you the thoughts that serve me and the emotions that serve me. There'll be different frequencies, vibrations, and colors, but notice, this energy serves me, and this energy serves me. Send your love to both. God, Father, Mother God, we ask that your love now move through the thoughts and emotions of everyone. That your love begin to organize and harmonize each person, so they can begin to designate heart's desires. So they can begin to designate with clarity what they wish to experience and what they wish the payoff to be as well. And in your mind's eye, you don't have to make any decisions. Just let the love of God start moving through those thoughts and those desires and that emotional body. The thoughts and the emotions, let God's love move through. I am harmonized. And you should feel a linking occurring that did not occur before. A balancing. Take a breath and feel that you are ready to co-create with this beautiful energy of God love. God, I am capable of success in anything I designate. God, I am. Feel your gratitude. Father, Mother, God, we love you so much, and I thank you so much for just the balance this morning. Lift us into that greater realization of love, for we are your precious children. Feel the light flowing. Breathe. And let your focus come back to your body, very gently. Back to your chair. Send your love into the room. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. How do you feel? Do you feel more balanced? Did you feel that there were things that needed to release?
Yes.
Thank you. You know what your homework is. Be aware of your thoughts. And I don't care if you even, I don't care what you do, actually. But be aware, oh, I may have to, this thought that I'm taking in may activate my immune system. I may have to wrestle with this later. Do I consciously go there or not? Well, and if you consciously go there, know what you're doing. That's the only thing. You have free will. You choose. But let's try to consciously watch which thoughts we're igniting with our emotions. Sound like an easy trick? Can we try?
Yes.
Let's try. Thank you.